kids. He even had kids, and the kids were fine.
So right, but all the other people died. So what made his case
I
so
don't
special?
know. I don't know.
The actual.
It's like how Rasputin. It's like how Rasputin injected like 100 times more poison than would be necessary to survive, and somehow didn't die. So the fucking nobles had to shoot him in the head. Some people are just built different.
Yeah, so those 3 scientists that had to dive to like shut down, because if the nuke would infiltrate the water, then it would cause like all that vapor to come up, and the whole Europe would pretty much disintegrate in the winter, in the nuclear winter. So 3 guys, scientists, like, and their names are actually out there. They had to dive because only they knew how, where the valves are to drain the reservoir, and they like it took them like, I don't remember how many days, but they were like multiple attempts, and they finally did it. And they actually lived a really long life. Like they were still, one of them I think was still a scientist, nuclear scientist in 2005. So yeah.
Yes, I think there's a documentary about it on HBO, right? Chernobyl.
Oh yeah, there must be.
I haven't watched it, but I've been told it's a good one about like these 3 guys. But yeah, so those 3 guys, they all survived. They were fine. The guy that went next to the elephant's foot took a picture. The camera started fucking up and having a flare because of the radiation. That guy survived. He lived a long life. He never got sick. He ended up having kids, and the kids were fine too. So, I don't know. Some people are just a bit different.
Sure. Kind of off topic, but Elias, what would you think we could do with the Ondariel's visage? Is that thing also like a sorcerer or something like that?
For Rogue, actually. That's like the main one that people are using it with. There might be other builds, but I've only checked out the Rogue ones.
Yeah, because I was thinking we could also kind of do a sorcerer build. Because I've been
seeing try the lightning spear.
You know the one that Rob has been making.
The lightning spear.
To get the movers for that. I think we'll just kind of deck out our barbs first, and then after we've decked out our barbs, we go straight for that. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I have material to do runs later.
Yeah, we'll hit up Zach and see what he thinks, because we're gonna need an instant kill.
Yeah, we need his buddy Shadow.
Because we're still woefully under-equipped. Like,
Exactly.
So woefully under-equipped. We have shit to loot. I don't even know like what we did this season, because like last season was much better, but like
we just didn't spend as much time on it.
Yeah. I mean, it's only been a couple of days.
Yeah.
Like, I think for beginners, like, depending on what their playstyle is, like a bard was probably the best.
Yeah.
I was supposed to do an aimbot sorcerer, which is also not so bad.
Anything aimbot. Is an aimbot rogue as well, technically.
I actually want to see if we can try out the aimbot rogue. I just don't know which one of these is actually quite effective. Maybe.
I think they're both quite effective. I think lightning spear is better, but it might get nerfed. That's what I heard.
Yeah, even after the nerf, they said, "Oh, it's completely unplayable, but it kills the fucking boss in like 3 seconds." So I don't
That's
know.
what they said with lightning or 2. Remember, they said the same thing. Oh, it's unplayable, and we played it. Remember?
Yeah, we played it. We started taking down all kinds of things. We were playing fucking content that was, like 10 levels above us, which we're not supposed
we should just
to be
play
able to do.
Yeah.
We did anything.
Yeah, we should just go against them and just play it.
I mean, the sorcerer, I think, is still very relevant. So, it's the same. Like, we already spent this much time with the bar, but I don't know if that's like we already got an Uber, which is the fucking grand follow. But I feel like if we actually no, I think if we grinded more with the bar, we can already get the Ubers that we need for that, right? And then we can start getting sorcerer stuff, because the same Ubers that we need for like the bar are also similar to the stuff that we.
If we get shackles, you use your sparks to craft a shackle, then you can just put the shackle on your rope after.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You can use the shack. You can use the shack for anywhere. You just have to craft with the right sort of thing, with the fucking cooldown.
Also,
selector,
Starless.
seems to be the one that's best.
Yeah, Starless.
Yeah, I mean, I got the Starless. I could just transfer them.
You can
Like,
put
it doesn't
that on your
matter.
sorceress. Yeah.
I don't know what I should select fast working on the Starless, though. I'm not really sure.
More damage, probably.
Yes, yeah. Because I got a lot of fucking health on the grandfather, so probably more damage. I mean, I got like the crit D thing on the fucking other guy. So
Nice.
D's not a reference to anything sexual. They fucking stop with me. Zach's cursed food is insane. That's like prime content for on here. There's like
I know. I
fucking
told
make
him. I
an
was
account
thinking
for
that
those
he should make an account called like Curse Food. Or something.
fucked up looking food.
Yeah. He makes the weirdest.
I saw that on Discord. What the fuck was that?
Yeah, he just like throws things together when he has no food. Or like
Hold on,
has no food.
that he made that himself. That's not just pictures he took
Yes,
off the
Put
internet.
a peanut butter
No,
and
he eats this
onion sandwich.
Is he British?
No,
No, he's worse. He's Southern.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay, no, here, let me break this down for you. He sounds Southern, and literally won't say, I love my pressure cooker. You can cook fucking ramen in like 15 seconds. Like, what the fuck? Like, well, you gotta get the timer right though, because otherwise it just turns into mush. I'm like, what the fuck?
Bro, we need to like buy proper food for him. Let's start like a GoFundMe, proper food. What the fuck was that?
He fucking eats like Asmongold. It's fucking crazy. It gets better though. It gets better. Because here's the thing. Right, get this. He fucking he fucking eats soup from a can, but he like doesn't boil it or anything. He ate the chicken soup that was still like solid from the can. Like he had 2 cans of chicken soup, just put it in a bowl, and that's dinner. It was like, what the fuck is this?
We need to
He
get
eats
him
this
registered
himself.
on like a domestic terrorist list.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. It's fucking crazy. Who does that shit? Like, seriously, willingly does this. Who willingly does this? It's crazy.
I know. The convenience, like when he's out of food or something, he just like throws.
And legitimately, when he goes into a store, he says, "Oh wow, look at this! I bet if I cook this, it looks kind of fucked up, so I can send it to one of my friends." Legit, this is how his mind works.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say anymore.
He's awesome though. He's our main tank in our guild on World of Warcraft. He's good. He's a good guy.
All right, AFK tank only makes you pizza.
Yeah, he's like, yo, I'm making a pizza. I'll be right back.
Do you think the aimbot rogue is like an AFK thing you can do?
You have to hold down a key.
Oh, that's no problem for me. I can hold that key. Literally, if you have to hold down a key, I can take like my previous setup that I did for Minecraft Pocket Edition. So in Minecraft Pocket Edition, you can like use all kinds of things to make it more playable for you. But what I did is actually figured out that there's like one strategy where you can mine stuff in this game mode called Skyblock. And so what you do is you effectively just take a bunch of water and you take a lava bucket.
Skyblock the mod pack.
No, actually just Skyblock, just roll Skyblock. Anyways.
Oh, I'm thinking of
isolated
Skypack.
server.
Yeah, I'm thinking of
Skyblock.
Skypack.
So you take a lava bucket, you take a bucket of water, and you just kind of place them next to each other, so it kind of flows into the center. And that way, you can actually just keep mining cobblestone, right? And then the more lava you have, the more you can do that off. And so you can sit there at the center and keep mining with your pickaxe, right? And that's what you do for skyblock mining. What you can do is you can actually automate this by just holding down a key, or what I did, take a wet cloth, wrap it around your knife. If it has to be full tang metal though, wrap it around your knife, and then just place the handle of the knife onto the screen right there where the trigger is for where you press and hold for it to mine blocks. So like balance it there. And I would just literally turn on my phone, put the charger in, have the thing there, position it just right, put the knife there, like as if it was a record player, just lightly set it down, and then it would just keep mining as I was gone. It would just keep mining until it's broken. That would take like 15 minutes each. So every 15 minutes, I come back, reset the pickaxe. Once I'm out of an entire inventory of pickaxes, I would take an entire inventory of pickaxes. And once I was done with the entire inventory of pickaxes, I would collect all the loot and go sell it for better pickaxes. Right, and then get more inventory of pickaxes, keep going. I did this so many fucking times I made the market crash.
Oh shit.
They were trying to accuse me of using macros. I'm like, nah, man, I don't use macros. I am the macro.
Yeah,
Okay?
it becomes the macro.
This is my issue. I am the macro. Okay? Make no mistake.
Yeah.
I mean, look, macro detectors aren't really good because they'll just basically start to boot people with autism because they do everything like a fucking computer. So that's kind of racist.
True.
It's the wrong classification, but we're talking about macros and autism. What do you expect?
I have a different type of autism, data hoarding.
Still the same shit. You're different end of the spectrum, but yes. Good thing is, at least you're not a materialist or hoarder, wherein you literally keep every single fucking piece of trash packaging that you've ever had in your life. You know?
I'm
Because
literally
people
the
get those
opposite. Yeah, I'm the opposite.
You know,
As
people
soon
have
as something
phones
stops
and
being useful. Yeah. You're talking about the people that hoard everything, right? The trash,
Yes.
Yeah. I don't understand that. As soon as something stops being useful, I throw it out.
There's some crazy examples out there. Like, have you ever heard of the feces maxis?
Oh my
What?
god.
No?
I'm sorry. Invoke the name of our Lord because this shit's fucking crisp.
Wow.
Oh, that tastes good. Well, not here gaining my nutrition. It's all good. But damn, dude. Brilliant. Yeah, that's a good conversation. Autism, macros, and racism. Let's fucking do it.
Just a couple.
It doesn't get any better than that. But believe me. I think yesterday the thumbnail space was nice, but I kind of feel like it dragged on a little bit.
Maybe,
Yeah, I saw
maybe
that.
a little bit, just a little, maybe an hour or so.
Yeah, I saw that, but I was kind of busy yesterday. I couldn't enter. Did you learn anything useful?
Yes, they don't understand how X works. They try to get you to click on everything, and
I mean, like how to make how to make thumbnails.
absolutely nothing.
Look at Ray. Welcome to the conversation, Ray. What up, dude?
I know how
Hey,
to
good
work,
evening.
but I don't know how to make them. Oh yeah, good evening.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Yay!
Best day of the week.
Honestly.
You know, I kind of dislike Fridays, but for like a particular reason. I know that like the next day everything is gonna stop working.
Here I thought it was just going to be the Friday song, but sure.
No. I didn't even think of that honestly. But yeah,
Well,
I
you do
genuinely
now.
hate how I generally hate how everything's closed on weekends.
Can't relate. America. Woo!
Yeah, not much is closed here except Chick-fil-A on Sundays, which is funny because I
Well-
pretty much crave Chick-fil-A on Sundays.
Well, I mean, a
There
lot
are
of
days where I'm like, I want Chick-fil-A, but whatever.
Well, I mean, like a lot of the best, like okay, so government shit is obviously closed. Right, that's when we
Market is
Yeah, markets are closed, right? Banks are closed. Those are the ones I'm talking about. Not the,
Oh, I see.
like maybe I need to transfer money somewhere, and I gotta wait until Monday for them to fucking open up, right?
Yeah, that's terrible. I feel like if the markets are closed, that's okay. I kind of feel like people definitely need a break in a sense.
No, I would rather that it would be like open 9 to 5 every single day. Like, I don't like the fact that it's closed on weekends.
But do you want these people to cook us all even more than they already do?
Yes.
I'm just
Sure,
saying.
why not?
I'm just saying. Why?
Listen,
Why
I
would
got
you
things I
advocate
need
for
to
more
do.
disaster?
Listen, I got things to do on weekends.
No, I mean, no, you don't understand the markets. The markets.
Yes, I know. Maybe I want to buy some shit on the weekend. Now I gotta wait until
What
fucking
stocks?
Monday. Don't worry about it.
Oh, don't worry about it. Okay, so sure thing, Nancy Pelosi. Sure thing.
But yeah,
I can't believe there's like an actual Nancy
like
Pelosi
Europe,
director here on this podcast.
Europe. I am actually shocked by like Europe when I first went there. How like everything's was closed. And, like, yeah, everything's closed at like weird times. Like I remember going to Switzerland, right, for the first time, and I went to the restaurant at like 2 p.m. and they were like fucking closed. I'm like, why the fuck is this restaurant closed, right? And when the guy came back later, he's like, oh yeah, people don't come here, right? They only eat during lunch, blah blah blah. I'm like, what the fuck? Why are you closed and open at like weird ass times? And as soon as it hits 5, they're all gone.
Yeah. You can clearly see there's much more of an attendance here today. I didn't even pre-schedule this. I just opened it, so you can actually see there's like almost 300. We're getting close to 300 in the space alone. So welcome. But damn, dude, it's kind of funny. I did multiple shows. I even did one like before the 9 p.m. So that was interesting.
Did you have a show that you preferred?
Kind of, yeah. The one with the ads. I thought it was like the most electric there. Personally, I like the most energy that I could have put into that.
I agree. I think that one was pretty interesting. The thumbnail one was a little bit maybe long.
I think like if they kept it to like an hour, perhaps that would be better. Because that's just way too much. There's like no compression in there whatsoever. And then the roasting of the thumbnails is like, I mean, it was nice. It was nice for sure, I guess. But also at the same time, I kind of feel like maybe instead of us being roasting, we should suggest how to make them. Like cut out the negative part. Like make it a positive experience.
I like that.
I feel like you learn much more via positive reinforcement than you do with negative.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if that is not the case, if I was wrong about that, then why are a lot of the fucking people who have had abusive family members, people who themselves have deep psychological issues, like it's almost like as if negative reinforcement, especially the type that is completely over the top, is really bad for you. It's almost like the negative aspects of negative kind of project into you. Of course, there should be a little bit of struggle, but
I think
at the same time, it shouldn't be the only thing.
I think they found that there is like a certain amount of trauma that actually makes you successful, and then like if you get more trauma than that, it fucks you up, and if you don't get enough trauma, it also fucks you up.
Primarily,
mm-hmm. Right.
Primarily, I'd say. Primarily, I'd say it doesn't have to come from the family. It shouldn't be from the family. The world is fucked up, and the world should be fucked up to a certain degree, so that the fucked upness of the world could teach you a lesson on how to be tough. But if it's the family structure itself that's fucking shit, then that's a problem.
Well, I don't know, because if you look at like Elon, for example, right? Elon is successful because his father was so shit.
Largely, yes. But there are other examples too. But you kind of end up.
I can think of
success. You can define success like this. It's nice. It's cool. The guy has a lot of money, but do you really want to be him?
I mean,
Really?
he wants to be him. So
Yeah,
I
that's
think
because
all
he's
that matters.
he, and I don't even think that he
Yeah.
wants to be himself sometimes, which
Yeah,
he
but
kind
his-
of clearly has
his
articulated
goal-
once.
Yeah, that is true. But
His goal
his
is
bigger
working
goal.
himself to death. Okay,
Yes.
that's his goal.
So-
He's going to work himself to
Yeah.
death. That's
And
not
he's-
something
and
I would
successful.
want for myself.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
think
not
most
something
people
I would-
want to deal with it.
Yeah, that's not something I would want for myself either, but I think he would want that because he wants to achieve certain goals and he's willing to sacrifice his life for that.
Yeah, but then again, I think success is too much of a broad term that's not looked upon. It's not looked upon within the context of what it actually is, which is a spectrum. So
I mean, I would
it's a
say
spectrum for success. I'd say they're probably successful in terms of having a good life, semi-successful rather, I'd say. An example of that would be someone like Jeff Bezos or someone like Mark Zuckerberg. You know, they have a lot of millions. They're also very successful, but they also have I would say, very sustainable life. Albeit they are questionable personalities,
I would
they
not,
still have a life.
I would much rather be Elon than I would be those two.
Well, I mean, it also depends on how you define success, because like some people consider
Exactly.
themselves, successful, and they're not, a multi-millionaire. I think if you wake up happy doing what you're doing, for the most part,
No,
you're
because
successful.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that because if you're one accident away from your life being completely destroyed because you can't financially afford to weather the storm, you're not successful. You are unprepared.
Okay, sure. I mean, you can be unprepared, and yes, I think everyone should be prepared for that weird rainy day or strange. But like, I think everyone defines success differently. I think that's the main point. What you think is success could be completely different from what someone else thinks is success.
Agreed.
Yeah, I agree that it's not just financial success, right? But I don't think it's possible to be successful without having the ability to weather a bad storm, right? When bad things happen to you, you should be able to, be fine,
Rather, I'd
right?
say
If you're
you've
fucking,
achieved maximal. Rather, I'd say you've achieved maximal success if you are capable of avoiding these most of the time, as opposed to having to live through them in the first place.
yeah,
There are many
Yeah.
ways to do that. Many ways. Because
but they will happen.
it's more like defeating a storm.
Yeah.
Like if you look at Elon, it's more like defeating a storm as opposed to actually weathering it down. Because if you want to weather a storm, this is the opposite of what you should do. This motherfucker gonna beat the cyclone. that's the difference. And I think there's a difference between fulfillment and success in that
Success.
sense.
Yes.
Where success aids fulfillment. But
Yeah.
I'd say you can live both a successful and fulfilled life, but you just can't do
Yes.
long if you want to be fulfilled mostly. Although you are fulfilled in a way. Within the context of a purpose, I don't think you're fulfilled within the context of enjoying the privileges of what it means to be human. The simple stuff, like not needing to do fuck all at least once. Having a lot
Yeah,
of
and
fun.
like the biggest things in life are fairly cheap or free, like love, having a child, like the kind of, like nature, it's rapidly available.
Well, the child aspect is not really free. That one's where the expenses come in, but that is a little bit obvious, and that has its own kind of word, so to speak, because it's like challenging.
Yeah, you can also argue that it's not going to be cheap either, right? If you want to raise them to be the best version of themselves, and you just don't, if you're trying to raise your kid to survive and be okay in life, right? That's not going to cost you much money. But if you want to raise an exceptional child, then that's going to cost you quite a lot.
True. By the way, if you haven't already, make sure to like and repost the space. I would like to get more people in so they can also join the conversation. We need to do the Helldivers thing where it says like join the Helldivers or become a Helldiver. But we do it for the conversation. Join the conversation.
Yeah, we got to do it that later. Yeah,
Oh, you should like pay someone
Join the
on like
conversation.
Fiverr to like do that. Like do like a.
My dude, I could do
Well,
that.
you could do it. Hey, if you can do
I'm
it.
literally Optimus Prime. I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Hell yeah.
See, that's fulfillment to me. That's fulfillment to me. The freedom and the ability to do that. That is fulfillment, in my opinion. Right? You get the freedom to do cool stuff. You're not really dependent upon many things. You don't do things because you want some sort of end goal out of it most of the time, but you just do things to have fun. You know, that is something I like to call fulfillment. And I love the keyboard sounds. Beautiful.
Oh yeah. I was just posting this thing.
Yeah,
The keyboard sounds are great.
Oh yeah. I like
Look,
mechanical keyboards.
Yeah, I like
by the
mechanical
way,
too.
Freckle. Freckle, if you want to play a game that's kind of easy to play, but also not too difficult to play, there's one in which you can just basically turn off your brain and just blow everything up, and that's called Helldivers. Do you know how to play Dance Dance Revolution?
Yeah.
Okay, good, because that's what you're going to have to do with your keyboard whenever you want to call a thing that's called a strategy. Also, as we like to call it,
Left,
a
right,
power.
left, right, down. Up. Yeah.
Yes. And and you have to do that to get a nuke as well. So you can nuke things.
Do you want to nuke something? Do you want to nuke something
You gotta
today?
play BDI.
Yes, very much so.
All for democracy.
You'll
Right?
have yeah, of course, don't question it. The bugs also somehow are able to jump between planets, even though they have no means to actually do so. But we don't question that.
Yeah, exactly.
We need to get Chase back in on this. We need some X on X violence.
Oh yeah. He's good too. He's like level 60 or something.
Yeah.
Wait,
That's great.
Chase.
It's Chase, the other
Chase.
ex-employee.
Yeah, Chase. Chase the guy from ads. Chase.
okay.
Chase ads.
Okay. I was thinking of another
Yeah.
Chase.
Did you say Chase
Stop chasing
ads?
Chase. Yeah. You know, you like call Chase, but like everybody go Chase. They're like, okay, what's going on? But you're like, actual name is Chase.
I was like, how the fuck
Go
do you know
Chase,
Chase? In my brain, I was like, how does Adrian know Chase?
What do you mean? How do I know Chase? Which Chase?
No,
are you
it's I
referring
was
to?
thinking of another Chase.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, I know all the chases. All the chases, they chase me. I'm just kidding. The real issue. The real mind
And
virus is
that-
going to start spreading once woman Twitter is going to fucking discover me.
Yeah.
Blaze, what's your
Yeah.
favorite?
I think
What's
we're
your
ready for
favorite
that.
cherry?
Favorite what?
Favorite cherry. I
Cherry
don't
for
know. I used to have a
yeah
cherry tree
for
outside
the
in my yard.
mechanical.
Oh,
No, I'm
I
talking
think
about
you're
mechanical
like
keyboard.
cherry. Okay.
No.
I'm so fucking confused right now.
So in mechanical
that's-
keyboards,
Yeah,
mechanical
white.
keyboards, there's oh, you're using the white.
White. Yeah.
So the cherry white.
Yeah.
Okay, so in mechanical keyboards, there's basically different types of what do you call them? Key switches? What exactly are they called?
Yeah, key switches. That's what it is.
Yeah, different types of key switches, and then the most popular brand is a company called, I don't know the company, but they produce these keys called Cherry.
Yeah, actually,
And
I
they have, like, different-
pair. Not just white.
Yeah,
but I have
different-
another keyboard with other
Okay.
types in it. Yeah.
Yeah, so they make like cherry brown, cherry red, cherry whatever, right?
Yeah.
And they all have like different things there for different reasons.
Yeah, Helldivers is kind of
Different
nice from the perspective that it plays like as if it was Starship Troopers. Thing is, the actual Starship Troopers game is a horse shit. It is terrible.
I've never tried
is
the
annoying.
actual.
They have a thing called base building inside of the game where you have to actually build bases to defend yourself against the enemies. And what's worse is you have to now maintain these bases. What's worse is they made that more difficult. Like, you're already shitting on the game itself by it existing. Now it's going to get better because the game itself is becoming shittier. So now you're going to shit on the people already playing it, which is exactly what's happening. And it's fucking crazy.
Oh, wow. want to try No Man's Sky. I hear it's getting good.
Yeah, apparently it's getting good. Yeah.
I keep hearing that, but I haven't.
I have a coworker that like that's all he plays, and he's kind of selling me on it, but it's $60 though. That game came out like what, 5 years ago?
I think it's
6?
it's
Wild.
well, I mean, to be fair, they've given it like free updates years and
Oh, I
years and
see.
years ago, right?
Okay.
So all the updates that have come out all this time have been completely free, right? And it would be like the equivalent of like 5 DLCs, pretty much.
Oh,
right?
I see.
You can also buy like a DRM free, I think. So on GOG, I think you can buy it for like $26. But yeah.
Cool. Yeah, the game looks interesting. It's a procedurally generated universe. Like it's kind of interesting.
Peter Thiel is like the fucking Peter Thiel's reverse going downhill. Everyone thinks he's straight, but he's actually gay.
He is gay, yeah.
Yes. Also,
Did you
everybody
check
thinks that going downhill is gay, but he's not.
Did you check the interview?
Which interview?
With
That
Joe
one?
Rogan. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, very good.
Wait, Peter Thiel, hold on. Peter Thiel went on Joe Rogan?
Yeah.
Wow. How have I
Yeah.
not heard of
It's
this?
incredible. It's
How have
next
I not
level.
heard of this?
Yeah.
Well, when did 9 hours ago? Wow. Okay. I see. How did I miss this?
We need to have the fucking e-girl version. We need the e-girl version of Joe Rogan, and we're gonna call him Ho Rogan.
Rogan.
I mean, I guess you got the equivalent of it called. You got the equivalent podcast, which is like a super moronic version of it. Call him Daddy, I think.
Yeah, that's just uninspiring, man. We need Ho Rogan. Okay, we need Ho Rogan. I'm saying we
Get
need
Haley
fucking
Walsh to
Ho
do
Rogan.
Why is the most popular podcast for women Call Her Daddy? I don't understand what the fuck is going on.
Have you seen the state of modern women? Just curious.
I
is that
have. I have.
surprising?
He has experienced.
It always sets my expectations lower. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's like it gets worse and worse and worse. And I
No
think
matter
the
how
internet kind of
disappointed I am.
magnifies these issues.
Yeah.
Because it's like these people are already emboldened, right? Which means they have never had to actually, like these people are already emboldened, right? So they've never actually had to have any accountability of any kind to be a considerate. You have to consider within your head that there is accountability for actions, right? And for them, they've never really felt any accountability ever. And so that boils into something which is you are emboldened in all the wrong ways to do the worst things possible. So that then basically makes everything worse in general because these flaws,
Adrian,
whatever
stop
that
being
is,
sexist.
gets magnified. Like this is getting magnified on the internet. This is also interesting because the same thing also fucking happens to very specific different cultures and fucking religions that come along with them because they've never had any culture in their fucking lives. Anyways,
Adrian, stop being sexist. This is sexism.
sorry, that was classist. No, that's classist. You're getting this wrong. Okay, you have to use the proper pronouns. It's these and the them. We are very like disrespectful when it comes to nuts because when we refer to these nuts, we never say these nuts. You know, we shouldn't say these nuts. The reason why we shouldn't say these nuts is because there's multiple of them. Sure, you say these, but I don't think it doesn't respect the individuality of them nuts. So we must call them them nuts.
Damn, that's cool.
Okay.
Yeah, got it.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Philosopher.
Yeah. I have a degree in philosophy. I earned this degree by harassing other people on the street with weird questions.
Try philosophizing these nuts.
Them nuts, bro.
Isn't that catcalling? That catcalling, I think, can be a philosophy, you know? I'm just gonna shut up. You could say I wasn't catcalling, I was philosophizing about the potential for me to copulate with this being.
What are the best Joe Rogan podcasts of all time?
I think.
Oh yeah, those are always the peak. But no, what I'm saying is like this. You have to go by the amount of times that a guest and or Joe Rogan says the word motherfucker. Those are the best in terms of entertainment. And of course, Alex Jones. I'm going to pull Alex Jones right now and say this.
Oh yeah, I watched that one. I love that one.
I love it. It's the best. Peak, peak, peak. Delete. You don't want you to know this, but you can be using weights at Walmart. It's free. I lift there 5 days a week. It's absolutely incredible. Get my supplements. You know?
Listen,
Yeah.
I'm kind of retarded.
That was amazing. It was a great
Order my
know.
supplements.
When he kept telling like Eddie Barlow to like choke him out,
You know the thing
he
is,
just kept wanting him to like choke me out, Eddie. I'm like, oh my god.
you know, during the podcast with why am I forgetting his name now? Alex Jones. During the podcast with Alex Jones, he was Alex Jones actually seemed very reasonable during that.
Which one? I think he was there like 3 times or like 2 times. Well, not many times.
Was he? I think
The latest one?
What was he? No,
I think the last time he was on Joe Rogan was, I think, almost 4 years ago. A couple days before the election of 2020, he was there.
I'm talking about the one where he was individually, not the one with Tim Dillon.
Oh, yeah, he was a bit chill on that one.
Well, he's a showman, like, and he puts on a show during obviously his performance, but you know, in an interview format, it's slightly different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it genuinely seemed very reasonable.
Oh my god.
I just thought it was hilarious. Him and Eddie Barlow like just debating over flat Earth on Joe Rogan. That was great moments. Great moments.
So that's an interesting one. Apparently the debate is heating up again with the fucking Krasensteins that are supposed to have, I don't know, a lawsuit coming against them. Honestly, doesn't surprise me with the stuff that they be posting. I would sue myself. Fuck.
Oh,
Yeah,
by the
like,
way,
what's the
seriously,
lawsuit?
did they have to create an AI generated image of a person wearing a MAGA hat and then saying that people who are like on the MAGA side are starting to vote for Kamala Harris? Like, that whole post just is weird because you've taken an unreal thing and probably something that is unprovable, smushed the two together, and put that off as content so you can engagement farm. Like, what? Why are you doing this, you guys? And then you have a Democrats for Crypto space. Do you not understand how like 80% of all crypto is semi-Trump supporting, if not fully Trump supporting?
Well, that's because
If you
the
like spend
Democrats have
any
done
amount
it.
of time,
Okay, but that's because
Yes.
the
if you
Democrats
have like
done
any
it
amount of time,
themselves.
yeah, if you spend like any amount of time in those areas of crypto, just kind of observe, you will see that the sentiment is very, very common. I was surprised myself. You know, I was really surprised that these people were that acceptant. I was like, wow, you guys are kind of interesting. This is interesting. So even before like Donald Trump did his re-election and everything, I like saw the sentiment around that with the crypto guys. I was like, okay, that I did not expect that. They were
But
all kind of like
it makes
leaning on
sense.
Trump and they liked him.
It makes sense because you have one
It
party,
makes sense, but I didn't
the
anticipate.
Democrat Party. The Democrat Party was literally trying to destroy crypto, right? During these last years, they've been absolutely fucking hammering them. So how can you not expect them to support the other party when the one side has been hell-bent on destroying them?
Mhm.
And now that Trump has made it a topic, now they're like, oh, actually, now we support the crypto as well.
Exactly.
Bandwagon
So
and shit.
these two having a fucking Democrats for crypto space.
I am feeling the desperation.
That's all I'm gonna say. Like, how desperate are you? That's the question. Like, I mean, look, I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong, you know? I'm just saying, really? Focus on other things. Focus on policy. But that just makes you look weird. In a bad way. Oh, that seems to be also their keyword. Everybody's going around saying, oh, this looks weird, that looks weird. But in reality, their entire existence
by the way.
was founded off of the principles of being weird and that being normalized.
So
Isn't that funny how that works out?
They literally use the word queer all the freaking time, as if that doesn't just mean weird. Like all the time.
Like,
It's
it's
their
out
word.
of the ordinary. Like, what is the definition of out of the ordinary? It's actually weird, right? So,
Yeah.
Isn't that good? So if queer is a good thing, which is a thing that's out of the ordinary, doesn't it mean that weird is technically good?
Then why are you discrediting it?
Because
let me tell you a funny thing. So my number, every fucking day, it gets like 2 messages from like the Harris Walls campaign, right? And I wanted to
Brilliant.
I wanted to say stop, but like these are so funny, I have to keep receiving them. Right? So
That is based.
it's like Tim Walls here. I had to text you about an observation that I've made. You've probably made it too. It's about Donald Trump and JD Vance. These guys are creepy. And yes, just weird as hell, right? If you agree, then I hope you'll pitch in and defeat them. Power Kamala and my campaign and support Democrats across the country today. And then it's a donation link. Let's win this thing, Tim. And then they got like David Hogg to send like texts, and then it's Kamala, Tim Walls.
Why does your number have that?
I'm guessing the person that had this number before me was like a registered Democrat, I guess. So I get like
Valuable
10.
insight. Valuable insight.
So I keep getting like messages from Democrats.
Now here's what we're gonna do. Okay, you know what is YouTube essay people, right? They make a video out of an issue. Okay, but it gets better. It gets better. Auda is gonna start making a video essay podcast thing. He's gonna talk about this one text that he receives. He's gonna title it as "Inside of the Democrat's Brain." That's gonna be the thing. Okay. Because it's one text. And we're going to have like a whole 3-hour video on a text. We're going to call it Inside the Democrat's Brain.
Well, technically it's 5 texts so
way to
far.
resist.
They've sent me 3
Yeah,
texts.
we're getting deeper.
They've sent me 5 texts in 3 days.
Oh,
5
still
texts.
deeper. I guess there's more interest to go. Yeah, really. Who the fuck is making these sounds?
That's me.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm guessing I'm gonna eventually start receiving like 20 of these texts.
Yeah, once it starts getting higher and higher.
Yeah, you'll get a lot more as you get closer to November.
Yeah, I'm getting too many.
Which is right around the
texts so
corner,
far.
actually. It's wild that we're in August. Like,
Yeah.
we're halfway through August. That's crazy.
Did you guys see the thing with Disney Plus?
Oh,
yeah.
You can't sue us because you had a free trial.
Yeah. That
That's
was
crazy.
fucking wild. They basically argued. So basically this person had an allergy, right? And they literally asked before, does this thing have anything I would be allergic to? And Disney told them no, right? So they ate it, and then they fucking went to the hospital, and then they tried to sue Disney, and then Disney's like, well, you had a free trial of Disney Plus in 2019, and in the terms you agreed to settle things out of court. not take things to court with us. So you can't sue us because of that. That was literally their entire argument.
Yeah, it's the arbitration or something like that clause.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah, they
they
didn't.
always
They
sneak it
didn't
in
even.
somewhere.
They didn't even pay for it. They were just like one for literally 1 month. They had a free trial. That's it.
That is crazy, isn't it?
You know, not you know what this make you know what makes this kind of funny, even though it's not a good situation. That means that like people that literally pirate the fucking material, and that would become like a matter of life and death. Not buying
I know.
this shit from Disney. This is such a stupid argument to make because it's gonna hurt you in that way.
What's weird is though that like most arbitration agreements are designed so that like the court case doesn't get like some sort of spotlight. It's designed so that it's like behind closed doors. But like this whole thing caused the spotlight even worse. Like it's almost ironic. The whole clause is to prevent like media to like know about this, but it like did a complete 180. It's wild. It's dirty though. I mean, if it's a free trial and you sign something, especially something like that, that's almost evil. No, that you know what? That's evil.
That is evil.
That is straight evil. That's like there's a difference between like it's a sleazy contract or it's a lawyer that was trying to like sneak something in. No, that's just straight evil. That's messed up.
They
Like,
should at least make it
dodging
human
all
readable.
of the accountability.
They should at least make it human readable, I think.
Human readable. Are you saying that lawyers aren't humans, bro?
Well, you know that Apple. This is interesting. When I used to work at Apple, one of my coworkers, I guess technically, told me, and I had to research this. Back in the day, and I mean, I don't know if it's still there, but the iTunes service agreement when you like first created an account.
Oh
with
yeah, the
iTunes.
one with the. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so it says that you can't use.
Right?
Yeah, you can't use Apple computers to like either launch or create nuclear weapons. That was literally in the terms of service for Apple for iTunes.
I'm sorry, what?
I know
iTunes.
about that. I know about that.
I was literally having I was literally having lunch at like the Apple cafe. Like if you work at Apple, you have like this huge cafe, and we were talking about it, and we're like, wait, there was a clause that says you can't launch nukes or create nukes like with like an Apple computer. That's so like specific. That's so weird. Look it up. It's actually kind of interesting. It's
I know.
It's wild.
I know about it. Because like I remember specifically like remember the South Park episode. I don't know which
Yes,
the South Park episode.
Oh yeah, that was a wild one. That was
So I remember after that South Park episode, I was like, you know what? Let me go and read iTunes's Apple's fucking terms and conditions, and I saw that in there.
And it's true. Like every time you like agree to something that Apple has, it like asks you like 3 times, like, "Are you sure? Are you super sure?" And you're like, "Oh, this is weird. Why are you asking me 3 times if I'm sure?" But hey, that's a great thing.
You can't use it for terrorist activity. You can't use it for creating nukes. You can't use it for any of that shit. I was like, after the South Park episode, you know what? I was like, you know what? Let me go and read it, right? See what's actually in there, and it was there.
Yeah, I don't think there's a show these days that can do what South Park has done. Like, I think South Park, maybe Family Guy as well, but I think South Park is like the last show that like you really can't get offended. Like they've already offended you somehow that like there's no more ways to get offended. Just straight comedy. Matt Stone and Trey Parker, those guys are comedy geniuses.
The amount of Democrats that have me blocked is honestly fascinating. Like legit. Whenever I go into like a thread a reply thread of a person who's like more left leaning, I see a lot of comments that these people reply to, where it's like there's nothing, it says a limitation, blah blah blah. And you click on this, you can actually see the tag, and click on the tag, and I see that they blocked me. I've never even seen these people. So whatever I have done, I must have pissed them off so much, just breathing apparently. Like I must be so based that the very energy that I exude is an antithesis of their being. That's
There's a website. There's a website you can check to see like how many people that also use the site have blocked you, right? So if they've also connected their account, right, you can see like how many people have blocked you. And I actually went on and I saw that 3,000 people had blocked me, right? So I've been blocked by more people than are following me. just
yeah, they're trying to. That's interesting. It's almost like they're trying to shut you down or something. That's wild.
No, I'll tell you why that happened. So
what the fuck did you do?
So basically, there was a post, right, of a guy, right, and he was like, "If you're using Duolingo, you're not serious about languages." And I basically left a comment shitting on Duolingo, right, and that alone got like 2 million views, right. My comment to that, the guy post got like 10 million. Mine got like 2 million views, and so many people were pissed at me. Right, and that's what led to the 3,000 blocks. That's what led to the 3,000 blocks.
Wow, that is wild. So I think that's actually one of the best cases that I've ever heard for an argument against people saying that you can mass block people and but somehow get them, like taken out or whatnot, right? Because I always hear this like, oh, I've been mass blocked. So this is probably the reason why my shit's not performing. I don't know, man. Kind of feel like Auto over here kind of proved that to be the opposite.
Yeah, so that post alone got me like just the 5 million views requiring to,
Yeah, dude, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, but I didn't apply for it because I don't want to verify my identity.
You realize that your identity itself is already known. Like if at some point an authority wants to know who you are, they will figure.
No, the authorities are fine. The authorities are fine, but I don't want the public to know.
That the public won't know. That's if you verify yourself via identity on X, nobody is going to know who you are except you, the authority, who could already know, and whatever party it goes through.
Well, I'm pretty sure that they publish it to like a SEC, who gets like the payouts from the X ads, and that's public. Yes, so you can literally go on the SEC website and look up what account is related to which name and how much they're getting paid.
Interesting.
Is that true?
I'm pretty sure it is, yeah. When it was out, when it first came out, I actually looked it up and I found it. But I don't know if they're still doing that because now when I looked it up, I couldn't find it. But at least in the initial stages, it was still like that.
I sure hope not. Please, thank you.
I mean, honestly, if you're within the US, you're fucked anyways because all the fucking social security numbers got leaked. I mean,
oh yeah, I saw that. 3 billion records. 3 billion records.
Bro, I swear to God, that's just it's kind of funny because the reactions to that were kind of meh.
But apparently, not every social security number was leaked because I saw like a guy make it mental outlaw.
Yeah, YouTuber.
Yeah, so Blige knows it. So he did a video about it and he looked for his own social security number and he saw that he couldn't find it. So it's not every American.
Interesting.
I guess you got lucky out of the 3 billion, huh?
Yeah, but a lot of them were repeats of the same people. Right, but I guess someone like Mental Outlaw would be way more paranoid with his identity and security, right? The average person wouldn't do that.
Very good.
Yeah,
Which is very
but an
good,
average
because
person would
that
not
kind
do
of
that.
makes me think, do you seriously think that he himself would admit to the fact that his details are on there? I don't know, man. I don't know. For someone who, like you stated, is paranoid, I don't know. I don't know.
That's a good point. It's a very good point.
Dude, these fucking AI generated videos can be creepy as shit.
You do need to be a bit paranoid though, right?
Have you ever seen Mickey Mouse on a drum set before? Like actual Mickey Mouse? But like it's dark
Didn't they-
Mickey Mouse.
Didn't they make like a new Mickey Mouse movie or something? Like a horror movie, something like that? Or am I thinking of Winnie the Pooh when it entered like a
I
public
don't know
domain?
what you're talking about, man. Oh,
I'm
what?
talking about like
Yeah, public
I'm
domain.
talking about how like some Disney properties like Steamboat Willie and Winnie the Pooh became public domain. And then like immediately afterwards they make like a Winnie the Pooh horror movie.
I don't know about that.
I thought that happened to Mickey Mouse. Like they made some tweaks.
No, Steamboat Willie. Yeah, so Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey. It has a 2.9 rating out of 10. Yeah, so immediately after it entered public domain, they just released the movie.
You know, it's funny. The X data post when it came out, only 7 people quoted this thing. It's almost like as if nobody gives a shit about the data, even though you really, really fucking should. And
What data
of
are
the
we talking about?
7 that have there you go. Just look at my timeline. You know the signups.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
look
sign
at
up for the
everything.
X platform. Yeah.
Only like 7 people quote posted. of the 7, Linda Yacarino and me were like the biggest. It's like so funny because you see so many people report about X news this, X news that, and then they just let that thing. How old is this post now? This post is like almost 4 hours old now, right? Actually 5 hours. It's 5 hours old now. Yeah, it's 5 hours old. And still I've seen none of those accounts pick it up. That's interesting. It's almost like they don't care.
Are all Joe Rogan episodes on YouTube now, or is it just the period where Spotify was not allowing it? Is that still missing?
Wait, what happened?
Yeah, so it looks like all the Joe Rogan podcasts from where it was Spotify exclusive, those are the ones that are missing. So there's still Joe Rogan podcasts that are missing on YouTube.
Yes.
Yeah, he was exclusive, right?
Yeah, when he was exclusive, those are missing from YouTube.
I will have to say though, it's kind of funny that people don't have to realize this, but the reason why text models are kind of improved all across the board is because they're training them off of YouTube captions.
Oh yeah, that's probably a good idea though. I think.
And YouTube comments.
And we're not gonna. Now, fuck the comments. Those are useless. Go into the captions. They're much better. They're literal fuck your comments. Nobody gives a shit about that. You can use it to gauge sentiment, potentially for context, but it's just zero value. If you want the real value, it's in the captions themselves, because you know you can, especially if you were to take a video essay YouTuber or something like that, just like scrape all their data. That's why the MKBHD videos were also used. That was like literally internal conversation was, oh yeah, you want to get the MKBHD videos? Yeah, just throw them in there as well. Like, it's not just the video itself, it's the text.
NVIDIA is just like me.
Yeah, let's throw that in there as well, just because, And that's all I'm going to say about that. That's all I'm going to say about that. Very bad form for a company like that. I mean, that company has a very interesting history, of course, And I think that history is going to become very fleshed out in...
Wait, which company are you talking about?
NVIDIA.
I think NVIDIA is going to be fine.
Is Intel?
Oh, yeah. But that's only a certain point. I think once they realize the mistake they've made, I'm guessing the US government is basically making them do it. But once they realize that it's not really possible, then they're going to go back.
Yeah. But do you really think that there are many people behind this who are themselves very logical? Because if you wanted to make this be a thing already, knowing the facts beforehand, I don't really see how there's any reasoning behind this. You know what I mean? There's like a lack of reasoning.
Well, the US wants to be like independent from Taiwan, so they don't have to defend them, right? In case an invasion does happen. But giving it to Intel is probably the worst idea possible. They should have done it with something like Global Foundries, probably, right? Because at least they're dedicated chip fab, right? And they're not plagued by the fucking moronic shit that Intel is plagued by.
Yeah.
Right. So if I was the U.S. government, I would have given it to Global Foundries or something like that, right? I wouldn't have given it to fucking Intel. It's like the equivalent of making AT&T make software for the U.S. government. You could go to Google, or you could go to Amazon, or you could go to fucking AT&T. Close enough. Close enough to a tech company.
Yeah.
Hey, have you seen the response to Thierry Breton from U.S. Government?
From the U.S. government? No, what is it?
Oh, well, I pinned it on the bottom. You can check it out. But he asked for it, and now pretty much the House of Representatives responded to him, stating, "Dear Mr. Breton, the Committee of Judiciary and Select Subcommittee on the Weaponization of the Federal Government of the U.S. House of Representatives are conducting oversight of how and to what extent the executive branch of United States government has coerced or colluded with companies and other intermediaries to censor lawful speech. As a part of our oversight, the Select Subcommittee has received testimony about how officials from the governments, including you and other officials from the European Union, have sought to censor speech, including political speech, online. In light of your recent threats of reprisal towards X Corp, an American company, for facilitating political discourse, as the United States, we write to demand that you stop any attempt to intimidate individuals or entities engaged in political speech in the United States, and that you take no action to otherwise interfere in the American democratic process."
This sounds good, but do you realize that the individual senators come and they write from departments, right? And nothing ever happens.
Well, I mean,
It needs to be like
they ask him to kind of mind their own business.
I know, but this isn't the first time that some department in the federal government, made up of senators or Congress people, has written a letter, basically threatening someone, and no action has come out of it. Right? It needs to be like a bipartisan issue that both the House and the Senate can agree on. Be like, why the fuck is Europe getting involved? Just some committee coming in and sending this letter isn't really going to do anything.
Yeah, but they're not like, it doesn't say that they're wanting something to do. They just said,
Yeah, get out. Yes.
take no action, basically.
Yeah.
I'm glad it happened because, like, like otherwise it's like, there is like certain signal that United States recognizes, what a treasure Elon Musk is, and like they basically say, don't mess with us, kind of thing.
Yeah. But so like, it's like individual people, right? It's like how there's like individual senators that come out and tell Elon, you can't post this, right? Even though they can't really do that because they're a part of the government, but they're going to do it anyway, right? Because, but they themselves have no individual power, right? It's just that they both, all parts of the government have to kind of come together for any action to be taken.
Yeah, but the official letter from Breton was also kind of, from one person basically, and he was
Well,
even
that's what they say. That's
he
what
was
they
even
say.
he was even lectured from like, up like from the upper, I forget what it's called in the EU. Like there's like an upper committee above him, and they said that he was like it was pure activism.
Well, that's what they say, right? But that's not how things work in politics, right? In politics, you usually have someone that gives you orders above you. And then when things end up badly, you usually have a fall guy, and Theory was the fall guy for that situation.
Yeah, perhaps.
Oh, this is interesting. So today I was in downtown Austin, and for those of you that know downtown Austin, as we were leaving downtown Austin, there's this area called like Westlake, which is like, of course, the west side of Austin. I saw my first ever Tesla police car. Actually, I might post a picture of it here in a second, but it literally was a Model 3 police car. It was really cool.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah, I'll post a picture of it here, like a couple minutes, but never seen a police department, at least in real life, utilize Teslas. It's really cool.
Yeah, 100%. I'm glad that they're like, actually, like when Unplugged came, and
It makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like he said that typically, like, there's like trendsetters who, take that risk to be the first adopters in the government. But he was surprised at the enthusiasm of like multiple police departments wanting to get the Tesla fleet.
I think the Cybertruck would be a great like police car. I mean,
Did you see the Unplugged like military Cybertruck?
no, I haven't.
They just
Actually, sounds awesome.
yeah, I'll post it in the blue pill.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I posted it. Like when you see that thing on the road, like with all the like bulletproofing and everything, that looks intimidating.
Where'd you post it?
It's in the blue pill.
Oh. Strange. I think it's glitched out on my end. It's only showing Adrian's last.
Yeah, I don't see it either.
For those of you wondering, I just posted the Model 3 police car. It's on my page. It's really cool.
Oh, there we go. I see. I got mentioned there.
It's literally at a stoplight. I had to take a picture real quick of it.
I see.
Oh, that's
Now
really
it's
cool.
wiggling. Yeah, that
Damn.
is really cool. Damn. Some from the
So
video.
who's using this? Is this like a concept or is this an actual?
No, so that's like Unplugged Performance. They're the ones who do like all the mods for police and others with crazy Tesla mods. But they're kind of like I guess unofficially approved or maybe officially approved mods for police because they have to conform to regulations. And they're like the ones who do like all. He actually was here on the show a couple weeks ago, and he spoke at length about the process, how they make sure that it conforms to all the standards, safety, all that. And it's so now they got like a military mod, and now like I presume that United States military would likely get on it,
That's awesome.
and order some.
And I could see like a SWAT team rolling around in this. Like, who needs a Bearcat now? I mean, just use this.
Yeah, and that and it's it just looks so wild.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of Cybertrucks recently in Austin. I swear, like every week, the amount of Cybertrucks, like just me going into work, and from my home to work is like 30 minutes. Well, a little over 30. And I think pretty much like on average, once a day, I pass a Cybertruck. Now, maybe it's a little skewed because there is a supercharger right near my house. So that could be a reason, but like, it's wild, like how many Cybertrucks I just happen to like run into, and they're all wrapped too. Like they're all red. We'll see. I do like the Model 3 though. By far my favorite car.
So I received my actually Cybertruck order to configure it for like Foundation series.
Yeah.
But I can't like afford $100,000. So I'll just wait for the cheaper model once it hits the hopefully it will come soon.
One of my friends, actually, my friend that got me into Apple, he's the one that referred me. He left Apple, then worked for Tesla for a couple of years. And I'll never forget, it was New Year's Eve last year. He just randomly shows up to my house with like the Founders Edition Cybertruck. It was the best way to end 2023, was just driving around in a Cybertruck. Everyone would literally just stare at you. Like I legit thought it was a traffic hazard because like all these cars are like swerving, just like the driver just nonstop staring at us. It was awesome.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And you have a 3?
Yeah, 3 with it's the long range one with FSD.
Oh, nice. 12.5?
No, not yet. I don't know when 12.5 is supposed to roll out. I mean, I think it's already rolled out. I don't really follow much.
It's rolling. It's rolling now.
think I'm still on 12.3. But it's awesome though. I mean, it literally will drive me from home to work and back, like zero issues. It's the occasional, construction happening on the road that the car gets a little confused, but again, that's kind of rare.
Edge cases, yeah.
Yeah, it's rare, but I mean, it literally is having a a chauffeur for like $100 a month. That's quite worth it.
So when you got FSD, you bought it all like at once, or you?
No. No, it's just the monthly option.
Oh, well, cool.
The monthly option is the one that's perpetual, right? The eight grand you pay it once and you have it forever, right?
Until you change
Yeah.
the car.
I don't think you can transfer it though. I mean, I think Tesla's done promotions where like you can transfer it.
Yeah.
I've gotten those emails, but for the most part, I'm pretty sure you can't just transfer it.
So that makes sense. So then it makes sense to do the $100 a month then, right?
I think it's worth it. I guess eventually, I guess you'll spend over 8,000, right? But
Yeah, but then
I don't know.
by that time you probably would have changed your car.
You'll have a new car.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's a good point.
No, but there's a new option. Like you can get for 5K. You can get like
Enhanced autopilot or something. Or
no, you get full FSD and you get like for 3 years. It lasts you 3 years.
oh, I see.
You get like unlimited connectivity and I think unlimited supercharging also.
Really?
And it's like for 3 years. So I'm glad that they're experimenting with this pricing tiers and price structures because that all goes
like a subscription model for like charging your car. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I don't know if I want another subscription though. I got like 30, but that's kind of cool though.
To be honest, though, I'm not a fan of like the model where it's like purely a software upgrade, right? So it's like the physical capabilities of the car are being held back by a software update. For something like the FSD, I kind of understand if it's like a perpetual thing that's being updated, but for like being
Paying
able
for
to
like
go,
cooled seats,
yeah,
or
yeah.
heated seats,
Yeah, or like being able to go
Yeah.
faster. I'm not a big fan of those. I'm kind of like one of those weirdos that thinks you should own things, you know?
Yeah, like if you get, like my deterring factor to get like full blown FSD at the moment would be like especially like now they will hardware 4, so I think hardware 4 could be good. It's like future proof, even though hardware 3 will also likely run for a while. But yeah, like to get like a hardware 4 onwards would make sense.
Wait, what are you talking about with hardware 4?
Yeah, so there is like a new, hardware 4. It's like 4 times pixels.
Yeah. I know.
Like
Well, what did you say
Yeah,
specifically?
no, to get like a buy out FSD at once.
Right.
For full price. Yeah.
So it's 5K for 3 years, you said, right?
That's another subscription, but I think you can buy it out at like for 8K or
Right.
something.
Yeah, you can
something.
buy it out for 8K, yes. But that's per car, I think, as we discussed.
Yeah, but there are promotions, like Elon already twice in the last little while, he like allowed swapping the cars and transfers. So perhaps it'll happen again.
But that's not like an actual program though. That's just waiting for promotions just in case. But it's possible that they
you'll
could
get a
never
right
do
away
it.
though.
Yeah, it's possible that they could
Yeah,
never do
That's
it.
the
Though.
risk.
Exactly. No guarantees.
Yeah. So is this company Unplugged Performance? Like what exactly do they do? How do they upgrade the car?
It's like, well, if you think of it, it's like, I guess like a EV garage in a way, like that, they just do the mods there and like innovative and approved within the community. And now I guess within the government to perform these mods on Teslas.
Are they a government contractor? I mean, I'm guessing that's the
Are
case.
they?
I believe.
Is it like
Well,
Brobus? Is it like Brobus or something? Like what are they doing?
Well, they're just like doing mods on Tesla police cars
Right.
right now, but also like with this military, mod. I think it may actually step into the military contract.
Is it something that people know what people can get or no? Is it just for military?
Well, I mean, I think you can get it, but it'll probably be super expensive.
Is it like something like Brobus or no? I'm trying to think of it.
I don't know. I mean, they're kind of like open to anyone, I think.
Right.
To do the mod. I don't think they're like they would. If you would want it, I don't think they'll hold you back. Like, because they provide all the materials, and they kind of do it themselves. So I don't think there will be like a resistance if you want to pay that much for it.
Let me look at them.
That's really cool, though. Yeah, they said that.
It's on the website.
It also doesn't do the same thing as like a Brobus. It's not that expensive. It's just
total 5-year average cost. I think the Model
Yeah.
3 itself is like what, 40 grand, and for 61 grand you can get extra 20K, and you get this insane mod on your car.
So you're saying that basically police department can contract this company
That's fun.
So the first Cybertruck police vehicle is in Hawthorne, California, on June 7th. Is pretty much already done and in operation by Intellect Performance, and then South Pasadena launches nation's first all. Electric police fleet. That's insane.
Of the Cybertruck, it's not bulletproof for like the heavy guns. It's only
Yeah,
for
like I
the
mean, it
light.
depends on what kind of caliber it is,
Yeah.
right? I mean, if it's a 9mm, you'll probably find. And I think there's a YouTube video of a dude that shot their Cybertruck. It's kind of cool, but
Yeah, but for the
yeah,
heavier
once you
guns,
start going towards like a 45 or something.
for the heavier guns, it's not so. That's why they need like the fortification.
Well, hey, it's better than nothing, though.
Yeah, it is.
Compared to like current police fleets that I think are like Ford Explorers. Yeah, it doesn't really give you much protection there.
Yeah, that's good. But it's not like it doesn't have the same protection as like a dedicated like bulletproof car.
True. Yeah.
Actually, Lenny just confirmed that it is engineered for both government and civilian use. The Cybertruck
Oh, really?
Archimedes. Yeah.
Nice.
So how much is it? Let's see.
You said like 80 or 90 grand? Or no, that was a different one. That was
That was okay. Yeah, so that was
Model
Model 3 was not Model 3. Model Y was 80, and then let's see the Cybertruck comparison. Okay, Cybertruck is not even listed for the. For the comparison.
Like have to contact them or something.
Yeah,
Get a
it's so
quote.
new.
Like share the knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think for fundamentals and like basic stuff, you know, Stack Overflow's all right, but I could see more maybe intermediate or advanced level questions. Claude helping out with that. I mean, I've yet to try it or have yet to try Claude. I've tried like Grok and ChatGPT in terms of code. It's been all right.
No, Grok, like there's literally no fucking comparison. I can't explain this to people who haven't tried to use, haven't used Claude. Like Claude, in terms of code, is leagues ahead. In terms of coding ability.
I've heard. Yeah, I'll have to try it.
Did you guys see Cybertruck in China?
No, God, no.
Yeah, it's been spotted. Like everyone's taking pictures and posting online.
It's cool.
There was also one in Ukraine, I think.
Oh,
You know, it's very fun. It's very funny to me that the current design of the Cybertruck is not allowed in the EU because the one in the US because it's like too safe.
wait, what?
So basically,
It's because of the pedestrians.
yeah. So in the Europe, you need to make your car in a way that's also safe for pedestrians. So you actually in Europe
Well,
you actually make
They have to hear it.
yeah. So in Europe you have to actually make the car less safe than it has to be. So this if you hit a pedestrian, it doesn't harm them as much, right? So you have to figure
Wow.
out, right? So the Cybertruck, the current design of the Cybertruck in the US is not allowed in the EU because it's too safe for the person inside the car
What?
and not safe enough for the fucking pedestrian. So if you hit a pedestrian with the Cybertruck, they're fucked.
I mean,
Pretty strange.
I'm sorry, but if you get hit with any car as a pedestrian, I think you're like,
Well, no, because
already not
you know-
safe.
You know how the cars crumble. You know how the cars crumble when they hit, right? Something.
I mean, sure, but like if
That's because Europe demands that you do that because the crumbling.
Yes, the crumble zone.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
crumbling means that if you hit a pedestrian, the pedestrian's not gonna die.
But is the car gonna crumble because of that? I think that's more for like really like car to car accidents or like you're hitting an actual like hard object. Like
Well, the crumbling.
I guess it depends on
the
how fast you're
crumbling
going.
is the crumbling is also it's also for the car accidents as well, but it's also meant so if you hit a person, it's kind of distributed over time, right? Where as opposed to like a single direct hit and like it all hits you at the same time, right? So the crumbling allows it to be spread out over time, so it's not as bad for the pedestrian.
Yeah, hard to say. Like humans are
I
so
don't know
far
how
from-
they're judging. Yeah, I don't know how
Exactly.
they're testing that. That's so weird. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you're getting hit by a car. Like, I such a weird like regulation or law. I mean,
So when Elon,
Thanks, Jiro.
so basically Elon, the reason I actually looked into this is because I remember the Tesla shareholder meeting after the. In it, he said that they wouldn't be releasing the Cybertruck outside of the American continent for quite a while because there's some regulations that would mean that they would have to make the Cybertruck less safe, right? So I was like, wait, what country makes you make a car less safe? And then I looked into this, and it was the fucking EU. So I was like, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. So the idea is, yeah. That's what
diesel in action.
Diesel in action, exactly. Listen, if I'm gonna get a car, I'm thinking only about me, right? Like I don't give a shit. Like protect me better, right?
Sir, you are currently driving the next generation decapitator.
That's literally what fucking all of Tesla Q thinks the Cybertruck is. They're like the dumbest people on earth and take up like any take that is antithetical and just like use it without understanding what it actually means. Like it's just absolutely bottom intelligence level. All of them are the same. And there's like literally no difference that I've ever been able to discover between them all. Hey, we've had this interesting argument with this one guy on an X space. He completely demolished us. Holy shit, we're not going to come up with better points. Nah, man, I'm going to try and fucking dox him next time. Absolutely retarded you have
Dox
to
him
be.
as Elon.
Oh, you got suspended.
Dox him as Elon.
It's so funny. So, kind of sucks for you, I suppose, doesn't it? Yeah. Now you're like on Threads and nobody sees your shit because you just realized that Threads is full of bots,
Keep forgetting
which
Threads.
I've been saying for quite a while.
Keep forgetting that it exists. Like, it's
Yeah.
so irrelevant.
That kind of shows you. If like that whole premise was built around this one thing, then you already know that there was no merit to begin with. So, yeah.
Threads doesn't have the magic that X has. Like,
It's also because it came after it, though, right? And it's connected to
I
Instagram.
guess.
So I'm just connected to Instagram, which makes
Nah, it's just basically
still-
all of the Instagram
Yeah.
bitches coming over
Yeah.
from Instagram, maybe plus any of the people from crypto who also came over and then instantly left once their shit got started getting suppressed because they're actually kind of right wing, all of them, because of what crypto is.
Yeah.
So yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, and in a way, Threads was like a pure knockoff.
I
Yeah.
literally,
Yeah.
Really.
yeah, I have
There is a-
zero social media like other than X. Like, I don't even have a Facebook. I never got onto Facebook. It's like the only one in like my family that doesn't have Facebook.
There's a reason
I'm
that
good.
there's a reason they started it, though, right? They wanted to basically get the data for training their own LLM, I think. Because something like X is probably the best platform to train your LLM on.
Yeah, Elon said he would start his own everything app, but like acquiring X would like speed up like he would have few years of advantage.
Because of the already existing user base.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really. Which is ironic because I left Apple for X. I never would have thought that I would leave Apple for X. I'm glad I did.
I remember
But,
at that time.
Um,
Sorry.
it's so interesting.
Right.
Go ahead.
I remember at that time, it was around the same time where he first announced it that the fucking Will Smith slap happened.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I remember everyone was talking about the Will Smith slap, and around the same time it was when Elon had announced that he was buying it.
Like Will Smith, you can do everything right in your life. You can have a good career, you can marry,
Oh yeah.
have a good family, be a great actor, do everything right. But then that one.
Well, no, hold on, no.
No, that's not right.
That's not true whatsoever.
You should see what he's married to. It's
Yeah,
fucking crazy.
Yeah, the wife.
This is like the worst woman you could ever be married to. And I hate pretending otherwise. Okay,
and that's
she
why-
fucking cheated on him.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's what caused him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, it's off topic. Like, there's two things here. One, that's what you're married to. I'm sorry for you. But then the part of me that's not sorry for you is the part of you that stays with the thing that fucked you over. Right? Like, why would you stay after that? You're kind of deserving the bad treatment at that point.
She
Because you're
played
doing it to yourself.
She played in the Matrix, right?
Peter Steele
No,
called
I
me
don't
out.
think so.
No, Naomi. Isn't it Naomi in the Matrix?
Is it?
Yeah, I think that's his wife.
Never heard about the actors. Wait, what did you? Wiggle, what's that? Not Wiggle, sorry. What happened?
Peter Steele called me out.
How?
He's like, computer science is not science. It's a fake field for people that find electrical engineering or maths too hard. I did
Oh,
computer
come
science. I did
It's
computer
like
science.
it's like basically both put together, and whatever you said would not be possible to be transmitted if that science did not exist. So sure, sure. I mean, I'm not a computer scientist,
I will
but
say
I
that
think that's a stupid take.
I will say
So
though,
yeah, no, I agree.
I will say though, he is kind of right that it is kind of electrical engineering light in a way. Even though
In a
like,
way,
even
in a
though,
way, technically speaking,
even though there are different
technically
fields,
speaking, me shaping, yeah, I mean, technically speaking, me shaping metal a certain way could also be interpreted as something that is connected to biology, because basically it's also a bunch of components of a specific nature shaped in a certain way to take on a form. It's like there's special fields that are all kind of separated, or somebody who's like an engineer who works in bionics, but then there's a person who does medically related things. You know, these are kind of linked, but they're separate from one another for very specific reasons. You have an electrician, and you have this guy. There are separations within a field, and these separations are needed because you need to have specificity among these deviations of those fields. And if you don't get that, then what else don't you get? Is the question.
I thought you're gonna say metallurgy.
Metallurgy. Oh yeah.
I will say
Apparently,
that
on here,
as someone that
if you're an expert, self-proclaimed expert in the algorithm who somehow emerged out of nowhere thanks to open source dropping of an algorithm that's never said anything about any other algorithm in history, but the X algorithm, then you turn into a metallurgy expert when a Cybertruck bumps itself somewhere. Like what?
I will say though,
See that it does about the people, to be honest.
how so?
I would say about 90%, maybe more, of the quote students from universities that I've met that are both studying like their own fields, which I was studying for them because I wrote their studies. They were all fucking stupid as hell, and they still got
That's true.
all their papers, everything, and even the people that I didn't do this thing for, same shit. You know, same shit.
Yeah.
You know, there's like part of me that's asking, did somebody else do this for them as well? Or is this generally how bad the university is? Because when I, as a person who didn't study full time at all, and just did it off the fucking side, could solve this problem for you, you know, I don't know, because I kind of feel like it should have been a little bit harder, you know? That's the first thing.
Yeah.
Like either I'm a genius or it's actually not that difficult to
No,
pick up.
I kind of agree because I don't remember a single group project where I didn't do at least 80% of the work. Some of the group projects I did 100% of the work, right? But
Yeah, same.
pretty much all the group projects I did the bulk majority.
Honestly,
even if there was like 5 people involved, I did like my overruling majority of the work.
Honestly, I did this so many times that I got used to basically doing all of that to the point where I just said, just let me do it. And then I would basically contribute the most amount of stuff that you could actually do so that everyone else's like lack of capability would not be the determining factor for our victory, but just me. And that's always worked out, which is fine.
I literally had a situation where I did not know who my team members were during my presentation because like they did not show up whatsoever. So some random guy just came up to me that day and he said hi to me and I was like, "Are you on my team?" And he was like, "No, what the fuck? Why do you not know who's on your team?" I'm like, "Because they didn't show up." Why would you just randomly
Why I
walk up
despise
to me?
group work in college. Group work in college is like, that's just a gamble. Like, most of the time you end up doing most of it.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
but
There were times where the people who I was supposed to do the group work for were absolute assholes. If you think that you're just fucking vanish, I don't care if I take a hit. Honestly, I'm in deep shit enough as it is. This will just be the average Tuesday, so to speak. So if you want to be a big bitch, I'll be the bigger bitch. So I decided to do that once, which led to full-on failure.
You know, though,
So if you guys now want to take vengeance on me, I'll do this all the time.
You know, though, one of my professors was really good. I just told him like the story of what happened, right? And he just gave me 100, and he gave the other person a 0. I still remember that.
Yeah.
Even though
I have a similar story.
Yeah.
I have a similar story during the lecture. Like he was like on the spot asking, questions like, "Oh, what is that?" Blah blah blah. And then you like I kind of stood up like and you have to kind of quickly without hesitancy present. And I just quickly fired up a few answers, and he freed me up from the final exam.
Wow.
Nice.
I had a professor who made attending mandatory, right? And like I wrote like a paper, I handed it to him, and I'm like, if you don't make me attend, if you don't make attendance mandatory, I'll keep giving you papers like this. And then he read it, and he's like, this is literally the best paper anyone has written in this class ever. And then he made it so I didn't have to attend class. And I literally never attended class other than just come in and hand in papers.
I had a professor once that gave us he gave everyone 10 extra credit points, and you could either take the 10 and just cool, hey, I got 10 extra points, or you could gamble it and you would play blackjack. He'd be the dealer, and you could try to get more points. It was actually kind of interesting. Some individuals did really good and got like half of their grade.
That professor is like a dedicated gambler.
It's wild.
That guy's like a dedicated gambler. He's like, I ran out of shit to gamble with. I don't have any more money. What else can I gamble? Let's fucking gamble with grades. Let's do that.
It's wild. I wonder how many students developed something off of that. It was fun though. I think I'm pretty sure I ended up going and playing blackjack with the 10 points that he gave everyone. And I think I stopped once I hit 30 extra credit points. I'm like, all right, mathematically, I'm probably going to go on a losing streak eventually. I should probably stop.
Yeah.
Remember, the house always wins in the long run. The more you play, the more you're going to lose.
I saw you winning this, and I was like, dude, just get out of there right now.
No, legit. Because, some individuals are, on, a streak. And then they said, oh, I'm just going to go all in. Screw it, and they got
Exactly.
It's like the South Park episode.
Be cautious. Yeah.
It's like the South Park episode where they got enough money to buy the town back. And then they did one more fucking bet. One more fucking bet, and then they lost it. And then they went in the streak.
Yes.
And then And then Stan was like, since when is winning one's a fucking streak?
It's wild. That's true. We're on the streak. Wild.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen the Ozempic one?
Yes.
Wait, what's wrong with the Ozempic? What did they do there?
I think it's the best episode ever produced by South
It
Park.
has to be.
I have not seen the Ozempic episode.
Oh, they made fun of Ozempic. That's good. Yeah.
Not just
It's
Ozempic. It was.
It's basically everything in it is truth. They're just literally surfacing the truth, and you can see it, and that's it's incredible.
You know what I typically do? I've watched every single I used to watch I guess technically I watched every single South Park episode. But what I do is I wait until so I don't watch them while they come out. I wait 3 years for a bunch of seasons to come out, and then I watch them all at once. I don't watch them periodically as they come out.
So you can get them on the dark side, right?
What do you mean? So you can get them on the dark side?
Well, so you can stream them.
No, it's just that I'm not I don't like waiting for shit to fall. I like to binge shit. I don't like to wait weekly for shit.
Yeah. I did the same with.
Here's a beautiful thing about
Breaking
binge
Bad.
watching. You wait for the thing to come out,
You then watch the whole thing. Then your friend comes over and says, "So how was the entire experience? Tell me what happened to this character." You don't know jack shit.
Well,
How many times does that happen?
that actually happens to me for shows. That does happen to me for shows I don't give a shit about. So if I care about the show enough, I remember everything. I binged all of Breaking Bad, and I still remember most of it.
Oh yeah. Breaking Bad is just great.
Yeah. So if the
You
show
know
is
what?
Like, watch the
Black
clips of it
Mirror.
out of context are so good.
yeah, so if I
Oh yeah, Black Mirror is just great because it's so good
Dude,
to watch
Black
out of
Mirror,
context
I love
as well.
that show. Yeah, it was
I
It's
only watched
fucking terrible, but it's good.
I only watched
Yes.
It's like terribly good.
I only watched a season.
Hey, you remember that episode of what? You remember this one episode of Love, Death, and Robots where it's like a civilization in the fridge? I love that one.
I don't think I saw that one. Wait, what season was that? Was it like a newer one?
I don't fucking remember, but it came out like a year or so ago.
The one that I'll never like forget is the one where
Oh
like
no!
he like accepts to, like joining some sort of like video game like testing where like they implant something, and at the end of like the episode it was like only like 0.47 seconds. Like the dude ultimately, well, I'm not gonna spoil it, but like it's just wild. Like every episode of Black Mirror has this like, oh, I would have never thought that would have been the ending. Like it's almost unpredictable. That's really what I like about the show. Like,
You know the episode with the guy, the people that had like they could see their entire lives with the fucking chip. That episode was really wild.
yeah.
The most fucked up episode for me though was the one where like one single day basically ruined the woman's life because of the social credit thing.
The social credits, yes. That one was a wild one too. Yes. Or like there was like a dating episode once where like you like have to date someone off an app, but it's
And
just
the
a
poison.
simulation.
And then poison.
Yeah,
That's dark.
yeah, that was a wild one. I'm like that hit me out of nowhere. Like again, those are the endings of the episodes where you're like, wow, that just came out of nowhere.
You know the first episode. You know the first episode where the Prime Minister of the UK literally has to fuck a pig.
Yeah, that pretty much set the tone for the show. I'm like, yeah, if this is the first episode,
You know that's based off a real actual thing that happened with the Prime Minister.
really?
Yeah, so one of the Prime Ministers of the UK, I forgot his name. I think the one in 2012.
Blair.
No, the Conservative one, the one that was like we need a Brexit vote, and then as soon as they got the Brexit vote, he left.
Oh, not Johnson.
No, before Johnson. Before
I
Johnson.
think that was. I thought it was Blair, but maybe I'm wrong.
Well, I think it's after Blair. I think it was after Blair. Yeah, so apparently when he was younger, he had fucked. Apparently when he was younger, he had fucked a pig.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that episode was fucking.
No, but like I'm
Really?
talking about the real life Prime Minister. David Cameron.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Yeah, so apparently they like there was like this interview where they asked him like, we heard from like the high school that you went to, the boarding school that you went to, that you had apparently fucked a pig, and then like
It's always the point.
and then he didn't fucking deny it.
Oh boy.
Yeah, this meme have so many impressions. I'm sorry.
It's always the boarding schools. I almost got sent to one, but then last minute they decided against it. And it's actually funny because I kind of think maybe that must have been part of it.
Oh yeah, so Piggate. It's called Piggate. Piggate refers to the Hickgate refers to the claim that during his university years, the former British Prime Minister David Cameron inserted his penis and/or scrotum into a dead pig's mouth. What? As part of an initiation ceremony for the Piers Gaveston Society at Oxford University.
The politicians
What
are
the fuck?
interesting creatures.
Yeah.
And you say,
separate the humanity from.
Yeah, so they asked
and you
him.
say,
They asked him on an interview, and he didn't deny it. He didn't say I did it, but he didn't deny it either. Which is basically all you need to confirm it. If you haven't done it, just say I didn't fucking do it. Like, why would you not deny it?
I know. It's almost like as if it's true, but like it's not. Yeah.
yeah, and you say America is fucked up.
No, they have different issues, just few and far between.
The UK probably has like the worst political system, and like the
Yeah, I don't know if the U.S. politicians are also they're not like saints either. I mean,
Listen, you
look
have
at-
not seen the UK. You have not seen the UK. The UK
You
is
look
like
at Bohemian Grove.
the
There's some
UK
weird individuals
the
that do
UK
some
is
weird
worse.
things in
the
the
UK
forest
is-
of California.
Listen, the UK is worse than the US. The UK is worse than all the EU. The UK is worse than Canada. The UK is worse than Australia. The UK is worse than Japan. It's worse than South Korea. The UK is generally, the politics is really fucked up.
I will say the parliament is funny. There's like a funny YouTube video that compares like Congress
Oh, yeah.
of the U.S.
Oh, yeah.
It's so boring, and then like the dude just keeps yelling order.
Yeah, yeah.
Or where they have to stand up and sit down rapidly.
Yeah. Oh man. Wild.
There was a video when somebody stole that sword that's in the middle of the, or what is it called? I think it's
Yes.
some kind of gold
Yeah.
sword in the middle, and somebody just walked in there, took it, and started walking away. It's just
Wait, what? What's
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
like Excalibur?
so in
I'll
UK.
find the
they
video.
have-
Put it on this.
yeah. Can you please? Awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, in the UK,
I completely forgot about
it's
that.
called the Sword of Excalibur. So is it Excalibur?
No, it's more like it's a weapon, but I don't know if it's a sword. It's more like it's a heavier weapon, I think.
So somebody just walked up to it, took it, and fucked off.
And so
Yeah,
it
it's
looks-
I put it in the memes channel.
Memes channel. Let's take a look at the memes channel.
Put it back. Okay, it wasn't a sword. It was a maze.
yeah, maze, right?
Okay. Yeah, labor. Oh, that. Oh yes, Labor MP. I still remember that. Yeah.
Bro comes out of nowhere and takes the maze. You'll never see that in like U.S. Congress. Come on.
Like, no. Put it back. Put it back. Put it back.
Put it back.
Have you seen the
Yeah,
yearly
that's a little
ceremony?
different. That's a little different. That's a clip from. That's a clip from. Yeah.
How long
From
was
a Labor MP who fucking like goes in and grabs the mace. You know, it's actually interesting because in Parliament, especially parliaments of British colonies and such, they all have this special mace at the center that they use as like ceremonial. Yeah, I've seen it
That's
a
like
bunch.
5 years ago. It's wild. Felt
Do
recent.
you remember the wood meme? Do you remember the wood meme? Everybody knows the wood meme.
Sounds familiar. What was it?
The wood meme. You know, it's like a guy, like some Asian dude that has a microphone. There's a bunch of people dogpiling on him.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
the wood.
Familiar.
Yeah, you would, wouldn't you? Just kidding.
Oh.
Anyways,
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Ouch.
The
Roasted.
wood meme. I'm sorry. It's your memes, not me. Anyways, the wood meme is a result of basically the immigration policy that was about to be passed And they found it so appalling that the contents of what it was deserved not to be spoken. So everybody dogpiled on this guy for basically to try and stop him from saying it. It's actually a common thing that people just go in there and fucking take legislation and just rip it up. Like the papers, they would literally go in there, physically take the fucking papers and rip them up if they don't agree with some kind of legislation. Taiwanese parliament, same shit. Go in there, take the shit, and just rip it up on the wall.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Oh, by the way, there's
It's like that is wild.
there's a IPv6 vulnerability in the Windows. By the way,
Cool.
CrowdStrike
Did
again.
they patch it, or is it still?
I don't know. Let me look at it.
Did they patch it or not?
I don't know. I need to look.
Bro, look at the fix first and then talk about it. Otherwise, you're literally making the problem bigger than it has to be. True.
Oh, it's a critical exploit. It's a critical exploit.
My man, the answer, is it fixed or not?
Deep.
Yeah, nosedive. That's what it was, Stacy. That's right. That episode was wild. That's the credit score. Yeah, the social credit score. So crazy.
Oh, I know this one, yeah.
Did y'all ever watch the what's it called? The Black Mirror movie? It was called something different. Where like it was like your choose your own adventure. Like you could you literally choose with your remote what the character does. There's like a bunch of different endings and Easter eggs. It's on Netflix. It's like an interactive movie. It's kind of interesting actually.
If I wanted an interactive movie, I'd just play a video game.
It literally is a video game. Like it's
I just don't know, man. I just don't know.
it's wild.
Do you guys see Diablo doing like player-to-player combat maybe in the future?
What do you mean? It's already there.
Yeah,
Or
it's
it's the
not fleshed
PvP
out.
zone, you go hostile, and you just beat the shit out of each other.
Oh
Very
wow!
straightforward stuff. Yeah, you go to the PvP zone. Just go there, chill out. Except that, you should be of a certain level. Otherwise, some random guy with like a fucking necromancer solo build with a bunch of debuff stacking comes out at you and just completely rolls your ass.
Yeah.
We're talking tortilla Sundays. It's happening today. Basically. That's true. I said tortilla Sundays. But speaking of, what the fuck is wrong with my computer? Yeah. I hit it a little too hard.
All right. So everyone, update your Windows. This is not apparently it's not a very complicated thing to pull off. They have released a security patch, but it is a critical one, and it doesn't require anything on your part. All they need is to send you some fucking IPv6 packets, and then it's done. Your computer is completely fucked. And it is patched, but you need to update it. So, yeah. It's a very critical one, apparently. And it can just be spread like a worm.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So if you have a Windows, update it.
Oh man, it's so nice to use mobile because I can actually see the controls, which is quite next level.
What do you mean?
Fucking, I hate desktop spaces because the controls are a little bit different. I can't see the request button on the side there, which is so nice.
Yeah.
Just in your face, it's ready. It's beautiful.
For sure.
A woman being awful is up on stage. Just say something, anything. Just say hi.
He doesn't do that for some reason. He's afraid of a
Oh, it's a
black
he.
box.
Okay, cool. That makes better. That's better. Actually, it makes it so much funnier. If it was a woman, that would have made it differently funny. I feel like that would have been actually max level hilarious.
That's kind of my role. I do the other side. Everyone gets mad at me for it. So
I mean, that's perfectly fine. It's actually exactly what you'd want.
Yeah, so even if you have a firewall, this exploit works.
Yeah, that's not the only exploit that works, but I'm not going to say it.
Is it 11 or 10?
It affects 10, 11, and Windows Server. Yeah, so literally just from sending your computer some IPv6 packets, they get kernel access, full access to your system.
How is this even like allowed?
And if you have a firewall, Windows firewall can't block it. Because by the time they've
Puts
already
all
received
the
it,
low-lying
and blocked it,
areas
it's
on
already
the
in your
coast
system.
underwater, right? Which let's say all of that happens.
They
You
have
think the
released a
people who are
patch,
going
but
to
you need
just
to
sell their
fucking
homes and move?
How is Microsoft this fucking retarded?
It's very easy to do apparently as well, and it's very easy to spread like a war.
Just one small problem. Sell their houses to who, Ben? Fucking Aquaman. That all.
I don't know, man. How is that even something that can happen? You'd think that this is something that you would foresee and potentially optimize out of a system before making it public.
Remember when we had that debate?
Years.
Remember when we had the debate with Meta 4? And he's like, these types of vulnerabilities are significantly more difficult to put into closed source software.
Yep.
I think I've kind of proven my point.
Remember the ARM thing? That was wild. Literally, some fucking autistic dude was like, this doesn't run quite at the speed that it's supposed to run. Let me go do some deep dive into this and figure out what's going on. And he starts to figure out a multi-year plan of causing massive amounts of damage.
No, it wasn't ARM. It wasn't ARM.
It was something affecting the ARM chips, though. That's literally what was said on that space.
No, that's something else. What you're
Then
talking
which
about,
was it?
basically, it's a utility that a lot of Linux distros use. But it's not the Linux kernel itself. It's a utility that a lot of Linux kernels use, not Linux distros use, but it's not from Linux itself. It was basically a piece of software that was being maintained by one guy. And then some people came in and they were like, hey, we'll add in these features for you, right? And then they added in the features. And then like they were building reputation, and they slowly started to sneak these in. But it was caught.
But wasn't this specifically designed to target the ARM chips that were by Google?
No, it was for Debian. So it's used by Debian, but it was in the experimental one. I think it's XZUtils, the name. It's for Linux, but Google does run on Debian, yes.
That's what I'm saying. It makes much more sense to be able to infiltrate them, which was the discussion that we had actually also technically asked. Which would have also been the most damaging aspect of this, which would then lead to why exactly you'd want to do that.
A lot of Linux distros use it. Not a lot of companies use Linux, and it would have affected a lot more than Google.
True. But Google at the time was one of the most noticeable ones, I would say. Yeah. In terms of the impact it would have created. But that's why we had that conversation on space.
That exploit only got into Debian experimental, which is nowhere close to what companies use generally, right? Debian is known for its stability, so it takes 15 fucking
teams, different types of like So Adrian, I'm gonna send you some IPv6 packets. Hope you don't mind.
Fuck you. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh, what the fuck is this shit, man?
What?
Microsoft, how could you do this to us? You are making my micro disappear. I'll say this post is fun. Whoops, wrong. Kind of part of the cognitive security aspect, I think, may have played a part here. Absolutely, yeah. You know, it's funny, when the Turkish shooter thing came out, there's not really a meme format that has taken hold yet, except for the one with the Matrix, where it's like remember when Trinity is aiming the gun at the camera and is shooting at the agent, and the agent is dodging all the bullets? That's kind of like a meme format that I see becoming much more frequently visible. But in and of itself, that's like, they're still trying to find a footing for what to use the Turkish shooter meme template for. So that's something I've noticed. So the memes.
What about the Pulp Fiction one?
I don't know, it's pretty nice, but it's not versatile. It makes a meme out of a meme. It's fun, but it's an instant fade. There's nothing else to it.
Truth.
Memes need to have like a thing that they can carry. Like, they need to be a carrier. They can't just be the thing themselves. They have to be a carrier. If not, it is not successful. Like, for instance, the Hawk 2 meme was nothing. It was just the thing itself. This is something that I personally did not understand, why that was like being constantly astroturfed by everyone. I mean, look, I get it, it's nice to kind of like meme on it, and you get a lot of engagement if you just, participated in it, but I refused to post anything about that because I just felt like it was something. And then if this is like the example that you set for a thing that makes you most popular, and everybody wants to attain a certain type of foothold in the world in terms of information acquisition and management, which is what influence and fame is, then that sets a bad example, and I don't want to be part of perpetuating that example, right? So I decided not to fucking post anything about it, but also I'm kind of criticizing it. Also, I'm not following that person because, what have they done? Actually, like, here's a rundown. Like, what companies have you run? That's the first thing I would want to ask. Okay, what impact you've had on people's lives other than getting drunk one day, going out at a club, and kind of perpetuating what is making modern women so bad today? Same reason why I also didn't follow the Plain Lady thing. I just said, fuck that, I don't care. It's the same thing. I have a standard with memes as well. Meanwhile, the Turkish guy, fucking, that's something, because that's next level skill right there. If you show exceptional ability with something and you look badass doing that, I will perpetuate, and I don't care who it is from.
What about jumping on the Olympics with a bar? That's an exceptional ability, no?
I think that is a bit of an exceptional ability that kind of comes natural, but I do wonder how exactly it is possible that somebody had that much of an extension to this part of their anatomy at that very moment. Like, I guess probably the blood pressure might have had something to do with the extension. God, slow mo.
Yeah, no, that was absolutely crazy. I cannot believe that we watched that happen for real. I can't believe that.
Why did they have to make the suit so fucking tight?
Well, the suit being tight makes sense, but like, what about like, where did that come from?
That's a good question. I was wondering that. Like, why? Why did you?
He lost the Olympics, but he won the war.
Yeah, somehow.
Like, didn't he qualify? Like, where was it when he qualified?
Internationally, a very particular fact about him is known forever now. So, I think I only posted like one thing about it and then I deleted it, I think, because I thought, it's funny, but also it's like, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that. You know what I mean? Like it's funny. It's bad. It's also probably good, but for bad reasons. So what do you do? That was but besides that, the Hakuto thing is a completely different subject, right? I think by and large, what should make you famous is exceptionality, right? And there was nothing exceptional about this. Nothing at all. It's literally the most basic of the basic blondes that goes out there, does the most basic of all basic blonde things to do at that age, gets drunk, and does the most basic of all basic blonde things to do while being drunk, and talks about going down on someone's dick. How is that exceptional? I fucking see this 3 times a day when I drive on a Sunday to get some supplies for something, because I work during a Sunday sometimes. I see some random ass fucking idiots stumbling around half drunk. Like, that's what that looks like to me.
Okay, so
now you could say, oh, and then all of a sudden the thing that comes out is like, oh, well, you're just jealous of this. No, it's stupid. I myself have been kind of astroturfed to a small extent because everybody like kind of thought I was Elon at the time. Now, of course, it's a good thing I have a brain, because if it was just the voice, then it just kind of ends at that. I mean, look at all the parody accounts, of Elon. They're basically dying. There's no way to hide this. All the parody accounts have got the shit engagement because it just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all because there's no actual soul, there's no actual intelligence. Because at the end of the day, well, sure, it is a very recognizable thing. If you don't have the brain to back up what that thing is, it is nothing. It is no more than just the AI generated thing itself, which most people then use as a means to then kind of, create their content. If there's no brain, if there's no soul, then it means nothing, right? So I myself have, of course, benefited of the industry in which mediocrity exists, right? But I've leveraged it in a way to kind of eliminate mediocrity. Right? And to kind of make the 15 minutes of fame is over. Why is everyone so persistent on extending it? Same thing with the Hannah Baron situation. I never understood this either. Everyone's like fucking shitting on a dumb take by a person who's questionable, I guess, in their assessment. Says, oh, if you love this fucking woman or you like think this kind of woman is sexy, you're gay. It's like, what kind of dumbass take is that? And then that just gets blown out of proportion, and then it sets the stage for the return of this one person. Now what? What was the need of this? And everybody posts about it. They get engagement from it. Now what? Where does this leave you? Where does this leave everyone else? I don't know. Such bad examples. Peacockism of what it means to present yourself. Attain exceptional ability, or you will be left in the dust. That is literally the peak existence of all things that a man is and will become. Right? That's the challenge. That's the evolutionary challenge that's baked into all of us. It's like the bird, when they put on the specific mating display. If the feathers don't look quite right, that female bird's not going to go with them. Or when the peacock is giving off their display, if the rhythm is not right, if the feathers are not right, if the color is not right, if all this stuff isn't right, if all these things don't line up just right, then that person's genes will be excluded from the gene pool. So there's an evolutionary aspect to that, where you have to have some sort of, state of advancement that is above a certain medium or like a certain average at that point in your life. And you just don't see it from this person. All you kind of get from this person is I've always been handed everything to me type of vibe. Like, that's it. That's what I get from that. And I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, but I personally don't care. I have a standard. Those are my standards. If you don't like them, that's your thing. That's perfectly fine. I don't care. I've said far worse things, actually. So, how is that even a problem to talk about?
Be careful. The resident retard might get angry at you.
Yeah, we have a resident retard. I said yesterday, I put out a take or something, and they said incorrect.
Outer has negatively influenced Adrian into misogyny.
It's a very misandrist take.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to go grammar warfare, dude, you don't know, man. You don't start grammar war with a fucking autistic kid. It's just a bad idea, trust me.
Also, I have extra information.
Well,
so this is apparently one of the worst security issues in all of Windows history. And Microsoft is not really